So welcome back. We are on field one again. This is the last time slot for day 2 of the 2019 Touch World Cup. We have another mixed open game. It'll be Scotland taking on Germany. I'm really looking forward to this match, and I have a special guest in the commentary box with me, the Scotland Women's Open coach, Eddie Sanwan. Good
well
to
pronounced,
see you, Eddie.
Well pronounced. Yes. Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Mate, so just before the match starts, coaching the Scottish Women's Open side, let us know how the side's been going so far in the tournament this week.
Yeah, running all our processes, running our structures, and doing it well, doing it efficiently, just coming up against better opposition. You know, I think the last couple of games we've conceded a couple early, held our own for the middle 2 quarters, and then just fallen away a little bit at the end. So hopefully, as the week goes on, we can adjust that and get a full 40-minute performance. And if we do that, it'll turn out good.
Absolutely. So great to have Eddie in the commentary box. So it is the Scotland mixed open side. Eddie's going to have plenty of inside knowledge into this team.
Plenty of young guns on the field here. Marshall McLeod releasing to Tweedy there. Finnan Lockett, who's got plenty of scores already this tournament. There he is.
Perfect start there for the Scottish mate. Well called as well. And the Scots, that's the perfect start, isn't it, mate?
It's what you're looking for, isn't it? It just settles the nerves a little bit, especially field 1, the big screens. Now they've got to close it, set out though, and do the job.
Have you come across any of the German sides through your time, mate? Any information on how the touch football in Germany has been progressing over the last few years?
Well, it's actually ballooned. There's one of the French senior mixed guys is in Berlin, and he's put in a power of work. Last year we had a big tournament in Berlin. I think it was 24 international teams came over, club sides that is, and they played at the Olympic Stadium.
So that's unbelievable.
It was really the place where Jesse James did his black glove and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Yes, that was fantastic.
Excellent.
Yeah, a few of these boys played in that final there. We got into final against Galaxy Worldwide. Pete Walters brought a touring team, went to drop off. So it's a tight one. Some of the Welsh mixed open and some of these Scots. Blair Gladding just getting caught in the corner there.
So they managed to hold on there, Germany. So decent
no
defense.
half.
Yeah, no half here, so there could be some defensive pressure, and that's exactly what
Charlie Brett,
there.
he's come through our youth program. Unfortunately, maybe not the sharpest.
Sharpest tool in the shed, is that what you're saying?
I'll just let you draw your own conclusions on that one.
Right. Oh, poor fella. It was a harsh penalty, I thought, in the end. There wasn't an acting half there, so it looked as if the Scottish players could have got up.
That's something we're yet to find our feet on. When can you go? Is it half's hands? Is it when the half's approaching? Not quite clear.
Yeah, unfortunately, it really comes down to the referee's interpretation. It's just one of those kind of grey areas in the sport that gets mentioned a little bit. Yeah, really got to wait until the referee says you can go. Yep.
He was a men's open boy last year. Coming out, here's Tweedy, Marshall and Lockett, that pod. They call themselves a creche. So I think they've got combined age of about 12 mentally. Good lads though, great lads.
Oh, there you go,
again.
The creche. They combine nicely and get their second touchdown. So we're well combined there from the Scots, and they get number 2 on the board.
That's Finley up to 8 for the tournament now, it looks like.
That's quite a swag of touchdowns there for the young man.
So his challenger on the touchdowns is on the field now, Captain Michael Short, number 12. You can see him with the bright red boots. Got a tendency when the calls don't go his way to throw his cap on the ground. Hopefully we won't see that today.
Well, and play on's the call, and 5th touch now.
Good control on the line there to not make that touch by Chris Ragg.
So it's the last touch here for Germany now, and they're just going to kill the play, 6th touch, so they're defending quite nicely too, Scotland early on in the match.
That link there who made the touch, Grace Burton, she was Singapore at the last World Cup. She got bronze medal playing women's. She's only 18 now, so got good pedigree there.
Wow, that's impressive. She's only 18 now, so played at the age of 14 in the last World Cup.
Bronze medal match.
Unbelievable. The kids just don't have fear anymore, do they?
No, they don't.
God, a bronze medal match at the World Cup, 14 years of age. Beautiful left to right ball. And number 3 on the board. They are looking really impressive in this match early on, Scotland. So Germany, they are under the pump early on here.
Yep.
And mate, some of the other Scottish sides, have you been around the fields? How's everybody else shaping up so far in the World Cup?
Yeah, I think the women's are going to get into it. Obviously, they didn't play on day one, so they had their first day today. A couple of big names against Japan and England. Fiji, Samoa tomorrow, so it'll be a different style of game. Less direct, I think. Men's had a couple of games. They played Fiji and England. Didn't go so well against England. I think Fiji was a close one, just 3 in it, I think. Senior mixed, I've had a few injuries. One of the players got clipped in the head by an elbow of his own teammate, and he's got head knock, out for 7 days.
No.
Yeah, HIA.
Oh, the HIA's undone by your teammate
I know.
as well. Oh,
I know, tell me about it.
the worst way
Good
to go
place in
down.
by Michael Short, overstep. That was
Yeah.
quite an unremarkable roll ball there from Michael.
The drive into the line, though, was impressive.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you just got to get those little 1% plays right. They could have got some momentum and advantage off
Yeah.
that, but over the mark.
Handing the ball over down that end is certainly what you want to be doing.
But they're going to give it straight back to them. Well, they've returned serve. A little bit of tennis there. Over the mark from Scotland. Germany return serve with an over the mark themselves.
Dan Fitzgerald on the tap. He's one of those senior heads in this team. Chris Ragg on the ball. There we go. Mikey Short in his quickie plays. That's what he does.
Inside. Yeah, beautiful. You can see that one unfolding. Nice little flick ball on the inside as well to finish that one off. Mate, they're looking really impressive, the Scottish mixed open side here.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a good tournament. If they can keep their bodies in one piece and not be affected by the weather too much. It's not often like this back home in Edinburgh.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. I actually did commentate the England and Scotland men's open game that was out on field 6 earlier on today. And there was a couple of comments that came through worrying about some of the players and their skin complexions and the heat conditions. But yeah, talk us through it, because I suppose you really couldn't train or prepare for the conditions that you were going to expect here in Malaysia back home.
Well, we've got some heat chambers at some universities, so we've been trying to raise up the temperature, raise up the humidity. I mean, you just work for an hour, kind of monitoring heart rates, etc. You know, your body doesn't acclimatise, but you know how it's going to feel. So mentally, it helps you get that prep and feel good. But you know, these things are expensive. Lockett with the hat trick.
Wow, racking them up. Nice little dive on the end of it to get the touchdown. That's their 5th now. And they're looking good, Scotland. So, yeah, well, that's really interesting to know in terms of your heat chambers and everything like that. It's probably some of the viewers at home who might be watching this for the first time. These are the lengths that our players have to go through, but in the end of the day, it still is an amateur sport, and it's a good point that you make that it costs money. These things, unfortunately, when we're at this level of the sport, aren't given to a lot of our players. It's quite an expense for them to try to get to this level as well. Pay a lot of money to come over this side of the world, and they're just doing it for the love of the sport, aren't they?
Very much so. I think, yeah, it's a great game though, isn't it?
It's the best game, mate.
It's a great game. I've been around the traps a wee while now, and you're just kind of walking around the village and you say hi, meet friends, meet opponents, and it's just a great friendly atmosphere. I mean, yesterday no one was out the tents because it was too hot, but today it's
what
back.
about the conditions? How were the Scottish players going yesterday? What were some of the comments coming out of your tent from the Scottish teams?
I need to sub. I'm melting.
Yeah, plenty of interchanges yesterday as well, wasn't there? You had no choice. A lot of players just out there for one set of 6 and having to come off straight away.
Yeah, and normally we love to give it a bit of flair of Scotland and get things going, but you're just sucking up the big ones, aren't you?
So Scotland coming out of their end of the field, but they're transitioning really nicely as well.
Keeping that ball alive.
Yeah, look at that, just switching back on to substitute player and driving into the line nicely again. That's touch 4, and they're already within the 5-minute zone. And that's a nice touch made out in the corner. Coming in out there on that left-hand side. And they turn the ball over, so they managed to hold out there, Germany.
So it looks like Scotland are running with 2 perma wings. So they're not going to get a chance to sub, which is tough in this heat. They're resting 2 girls, it looks like. I know Lacey Green's hurt her ankle, and I guess Shona's putting in a big shift, so she'll give them a bit of a break.
So it's a massive effort, like you said, if the 2 wingers for the Scotland side are intending to play the whole game. Still a lot of running up and back that wingers have to do. They're constantly moving up.
Absolutely.
They'll get the kilometres up in this match, and to do it, we late in the afternoon. We're working towards 5 o'clock local time, but the heat is still really hanging around, isn't it?
We're weighing ourselves before and after every game to kind of monitor dehydration levels and how much you need to put on. And we had a perma wings the other day, and the girl who was carrying water from the sideline lost 2 kilos.
Unbelievable. Just carrying the water down the sideline.
Yeah.
Well, that really paints a picture of the conditions that the players have had to go through here.
Can Finlay keep up his perfect record?
Oh,
my word, you're joking.
It's
You're
just
joking.
go on. Wow.
That's probably one of the more unremarkable scores he'll get. It just opened up.
Yes, that's right. So, yeah,
The rest of his team was superfluous.
I don't think that no one actually fell for the dummy. He just seemed to make his way through the gap, and before you knew it, he realised he was on his way to the try line. So let's see if Germany can hit back there. Right on the back foot against Scotland at the moment.
Running the backdoor play.
Go away, they might have created numbers.
Ooh.
Oh, if he hangs on to that one.
Got the pen, no, not advancing. Michael Short.
Yeah, Martin is spilling the ball over the line.
Quickie play. Good control. Winger was open. Have we got the long ball?
And just keeping it in the middle at the moment. They're moving towards the 5. They look to go down that short side again.
Interesting they're running with a girl taking the quickie play.
Yeah, but in the previous set, she was the one that actually threw that ball that was just dropped over the line. So she's a strong player. She goes against the grain again here. We're sort of shaping inside outside, but they've got another penalty.
2 pens on the line.
So the referees.
This is a very experienced referee coming on, isn't it?
Yeah, David Baggio.
Yeah.
He is the current #1 referee in the world. Well, a referee in Australia for sure. I won't confirm in the world. He might be #2 in the world, but yeah, plenty of experience. Refereed a lot of state of origins.
I think he'd go okay in Europe.
He might go okay, you think?
Maybe seek a few clarifications, but Fitzgerald getting across.
Another penalty.
Someone going to go here.
Yeah, there might be a chance. Yeah, he's going to point to someone.
Captain's taking a hit there. German playmakers working off the field. Get a strike team on.
A little bit of confusion here amongst the players. So they're down a player. Intercept taken. There's
Chris
no
Ragg.
one ahead. What are you going to back of him, mate? He looks like he's pretty quick.
Sliding along as if he's on a skateboard. He's soon to be a father in a couple of weeks.
Oh,
he'll be wrapped with
congratulations to the young man. Geez, he did well to get the pass to come over to Malaysia. Wife pregnant in a couple of weeks.
Well,
my wife back home wouldn't be letting me get away with that.
She's a former player of this squad, so I think she knows what it means to him.
Always handy when you've got someone that's sporting background as well. And touch player. A lot of touch romances blossom over the years. Good to see. And it's
I'm sure Saturday night will bring a few.
Oh, mate. I'm on the first plane out of here. You want to steer clear.
God, that's another penalty. They can't keep doing this.
Yeah, although they've got a decent lead, there's still a little bit of time. They've still got the second half ahead of them as well. They'll fatigue themselves if they have to defend consistently. Got to think about the next couple of games ahead as well,
Definitely.
don't
It's a strategy.
they? And it's a big pool, a lot of teams in the mixed open division, so they've got a lot of games, a lot of round games. So it's
It
one
is
of
in the men's and women's. They're looking at 8 games across unless you make the grand final, it's 8 games. Or this division, they're talking about 12.
Yeah, that's a massive toll
Yeah.
in these sort of conditions. So,
Well,
yeah,
they've
game
done-
management and recovery and everything like that really is will be at the forefront of the coaching staff and the players as well.
I think we're living off 100 plus. Have you tried that stuff yet?
100 plus.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's like the Malaysian Gatorade. It's fantastic.
Oh, stop it! I haven't even come across it yet.
Good bit of hurdling from Callum Fetus Anderson. Skipped over Charlie.
So 100 plus sales of 100 plus in Malaysia through the roof in the
There's other
month
sports
of
drinks
April,
available.
May. There are others. Yes, we must mention we're not sponsored by 100 plus, but feel free to send supplies to us if required. So we're getting towards the
Good yards
back
on
end
2.
here.
There's Alexandra McConey with a dish off into the back door. Strong player.
Whoa! Fight.
Commentator's
Fight in
curse.
there. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been hard to take that ball. Alan Stocken fired at him.
Good offload. Kusus.
Yeah, look at the meters here from Scotland.
So Shona on the wing there. She's a Scotland netball player, juniors. And then you got the link there. Suzanne Brownie, her sister, is captain of Scotland netball. So good pedigree in those families.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's quite common across a lot of female athletes. Well, a lot of athletes actually, I should say male and female, just the multi-level of different sports that they do play. And we sort of found it, particularly back home in Australia, the pedigree that we had, particularly within the females in touch football, and with the evolution of female sport back home in Australia in the AFL competition,
It's
the
huge
soccer,
now, isn't it? They're
cricket
professional
now.
now.
And they're, but you know, they have been coming towards touch football tournaments and, you know, and targeting some of the players. And as a result, there's former touch players now that are playing in the Olympics and playing
Yeah.
professional sport. And it's, although we'd love to see them still playing touch, the positive is that they have been coming back and they still do play touch because they love the sport.
It's
And
a
that's
great
where it
advert
started.
for it, isn't it?
Absolutely. So they will be on the sniff for just one more, you think, before half
Here we
time.
go, the quickie. The QB, is he going to hit long?
Oh, no. He did hit long. You called it. You could see it coming, but just lost over the line, unfortunately, there in the end. But the play was on, mate. He called it perfectly.
Leia on the wing there on the far side, Leia gliding over 100 pairs of trainers.
100 pairs of
I know.
trainers.
She's got about 30 pairs of boots. Yeah, I know.
What do you do with all of them?
Take nice pictures, Instagram. I don't know what the kids are doing these days.
The kids. Oh. I have 2 pairs of shoes. One to run in and one to walk in. And I've had them for about 5 years and they stink. So,
But when you get a good pair, they're a good pair,
Oh,
right?
you know, you just know once you put them on. Oh, good contact there as well. Could hear the touch made, no problems. They carry on. Space available to them if they want to run here, Scotland as well.
Looks like they're going to the box. Just exhibiting a bit of control here. Here, you can hear Callum calling for the ball to speed up.
A little goose step as well. They drive into the line now, sweep, but they go the other way into the in goal. Just got to look for someone to link up with. Finds
There
it.
we go.
Just came out of nowhere.
I know.
Just went towards where the ball was. That's what she needed, and just popped up right there and slapped it down.
I
Another
hope
touchdown
Susan will be
for
showing those
Scotland.
dancing feet on Saturday night as well.
Oh, dangerous. We've seen some good acrobatics and some footwork from some of the players throughout this tournament. So, oh yeah, should be on Saturday night.
It's got to be tough for the Germans in here. Keeping energy levels high, which is fantastic. You know, it's big games in Berlin, in Munich. Oh, that's the score.
Here we
That's the score. Have you got
go.
it?
Dives. Has the touch been made? They might be claiming it. Yeah, probably their first real chance. The German side almost got there too. They switch back into the middle. They'll get a sweet play
Tweedy
coming
mix.
around the back. Do they go against the grain? Nice line, and they try to step back in. Good touch made. Yeah, not too much happening there, unfortunately, for Germany. They turn the ball over, and Scotland coming out of their end of the field.
just seem to be running a lot of their processes. We haven't driven a set yet off the line.
Here we go. There's a mistake here from Scotland. Haven't been too many errors from them actually in the match so far. So that's the first one definitely in their own end of the field. There's good contact in the touch. Just forced the ball to come out. Yeah,
Sydney Uni product, Alexander McConey there. Oh,
just spilled.
Just fell away.
Wasn't the greatest delivery. Penalty made, tough one.
Harsh one.
Yeah,
clumsy,
the big
wasn't it?
fella who's just steaming in. He was trying to put some defensive pressure on.
Double knee support.
Yeah, Corey Ben Baker. Got to give him some latitude. I think if he's got two dodgy knees, it would have been hard for the big fella to pull up potentially. Nice ball there, face ball across, and an outside in line as well.
That's a classic Fitzgerald slow dive.
Slow dive.
On the half.
So the half-time hooter goes in the background. Scotland are in real control of this match over Germany. It's been a spirited effort from the Germans. Let's see if they can fight back in the second half. We'll be back with all of the action in just a few minutes' time. And we are back out here on field 1 in the second half, not too far from getting underway between Scotland and Germany. The Scots went into the halftime break with a 9-touchdown lead, and they've looked really impressive in this match, haven't they, mate?
Yeah, I think they looks like they kind of exhibit some control over what they're doing. As you said, it's a long week, 6 days of competition, and you've got to be fresh at the back end of that. But you've got to still do the hard yards.
So what do you think the thought process will be for the coaching staff here? It's a tricky situation that they're in where they lead by 9. It's a comfortable lead. They can't really look at sort of taking any players off. They've still got to manage through this game. If you take some players off and rest them, then you're putting pressure on some of the other players on the side as well. So they just got to...
I think the key word for them is control. And error count. Complete your sets. Complete your sets. Make the defenders work as hard as possible.
And that's what they're doing
again.
here. Oh, beautiful shot ball. So touch in Scotland has really started picking up since around 2008. It's the first year we kind of stacked our mixed team, and we won the European Championships. And Fitzy was a part of that squad. And we've kind of come on leaps and bounds in professionalism and attitude. Learned a lot of lessons off the Aussies, I have to say. Been over there, did some assistant coaching at NTLs and the like. And it's been invaluable, learning. Not too proud to learn. Yeah, it's a good tournament to be able to do it. It's one of the
Good work
showpiece
from
tournaments.
Charlie. They're just going 2-on-2.
Yeah, no options available to the German side. So, Matt, you made mention it was 2008 where things started to progress. What was the catalyst behind that that really sort of drove the momentum going forward to get Scotland to where they are today?
Well, that was, we knew we had good players, but we were trying to spread ourselves too thinly across all 3 open divisions. So we stacked mixed. The following year we stacked men's and women's. Men's did okay. I was Treviso. I think I was Bristol 2010. We won that in the men's. Won the men's in 12. Women still couldn't quite get there. And that was kind of coming up to the World Cup. And we thought if we're going to compete with the best of the best, the mixed is a place we can do it. So 14 we went back to mixed, won the European champs in Swansea. And the team's still developing. We'll see how this comp goes.
So a lot of the players, when you made mention that you sort of stacked that mixed side, are a lot of the players from that initial stage still in the team at the moment?
There's Fitzy, Mikey, and I think that's it from here. I mean, Callum Anderson, he would have been in that team too. But then we've got the rate of attrition's been pretty low. So it's just been 1 or 2 changes each year, which is what a team can cope with. Anything more than that, and you're asking a lot for players to gather, collect, and deliver. Good roll ball, long. Lisa Walker, she's come through the youth grade program too. She's actually school here in Kuala Lumpur at the Alice Smith School down the road.
What brought her over to Malaysia, mate? Do you know?
Parents, oil.
It's easy as that, chasing the almighty dollar. Good though that when you see, I did make mention in a couple of the earlier matches, a lot of touch players have relocated or found themselves in other countries, but the growth of the sport has been able to see them continue to play in other countries, but the positive side is that they want to come back and play for their country where they were born.
Absolutely. And, I think getting games like this on the BBC is only going to be great for the sport.
Yeah, great exposure, and particularly through Europe. And we thank the BBC for their support and coverage.
I think the European champs had 80,000 viewers across all 5 days.
That's unbelievable. So that just shows that there's a thirst for more touch football coverage out there, isn't there?
Definitely. Regained their composure now on the line. Oof.
Good contact there, wasn't it? Didn't phase them in the end. Still carried on. It's number 13 on the books there for the Scots.
Callum Anderson, nicknamed Fetus.
Talk me through that. How do you get the nickname of Fetus?
It's quite
I hope
unremarkable.
it's not too bad.
No, he joined the squad when he was just he was a pupil of one of the players, and he joined the squad. He was just too young, so he couldn't call him a Gromit 'cause he was too young. So he just picked up Fetus, and it's been there ever since.
It's funny how nicknames just stick
Yeah.
with people, doesn't it? And particularly where you're like, oh, don't call me that, I don't like it. You've got that nickname for life now.
It's like the worst thing you can say, isn't it?
Absolutely. And what about the junior system in Scotland, mate? Is there much of a junior program there? Has touch football made its way into the school system at all?
Not quite yet. Not quite yet. There's a few. We're getting some teachers contact us now, wanting to know more. But these two boys on the park now, Finlay Lockett and James Tweedy, they've won the junior touch champs in mixed twice now. So you can see how they develop up into the adult program.
I think he dropped the ball, like the touch was actually made there. Regardless, they're going to roll it on the 5. Is that an area where Scotland Touch has sort of identified as a real market opportunity to try to continue to push within the school system?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think certainly the game in Scotland, there's not a huge amount of teachers. It's lots of lawyers, doctors, professionals, so it's hard to break into the schools. But now we're seeing a few more, as I said, teachers starting playing touch and hearing about touch, and now they want to take it back. They see the value in it. There's integrity, hard work, honesty, cooperation, a mixed sport. What's there not to love in a school?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the perfect it's a perfect showcase. You can see out here on the field, it's one of the absolute unique factors of our sport that men and women can play on the field at the same time and at an opens level as well, where the speed, the contact and everything like that is still quite high, but it's no problem for the ladies in particular. They love
Definitely.
playing mixed touch.
But the mark of a true mixed team is strong girls.
Yeah, more often than not, the girls are winning you the matches, aren't they?
Definitely. A lot of hard yards out there. They could do with a better pass from Mikey Short. We'll talk about that one later.
So the blokes are letting the girls down again. You got to lift, boys.
This is what my wife keeps telling me. Good work. Now, I give Mikey a hard time, but he's an absolute great bloke, and he's an excellent captain, on and off the park.
There's always two sides to team cohesion, isn't there? The on-field and the off-field as well.
Talking about touch relationships, Michael Short's wife is a Wales Women's Open player.
Oh, no. How does that go down amongst the Scottish group?
Well, yeah. They've got a kid too, so who's on childcare on training camp weekends is always an awkward one.
Interesting. Sorry to cut you off, but I was just going to say, as they attack the line here, probably jumped in on you. Apologies for that. But from a rivalry perspective, being from Scotland, is it England, as would you say, is your biggest rival in terms of in touch when you guys come up against each other?
I think it is in the men's and women's divisions. In the mixed, I think it's Wales.
Right.
Wales have put huge focus on their mixed team, and they've been some absolutely cracking battles over the years. And a lot of us play a lot of club stuff together, teams that tour around Europe, etc. So you're all pals, but when you get out there, you go hard. Absolutely,
yeah. We've seen Wales a couple of times throughout the tournament. They've been impressive. Yeah, that was forward.
Yeah.
That was right in front of us here. In the same side of the draw, do you know the Scotland mixed open side as Wales, or opposite sides of the draw?
Opposite sides of the draw, okay. Thankfully.
So might come across them a little bit further down the road though, potentially, if there's a playoff or hopefully a final spot on offer for the sides.
Yeah, I think it'd be fantastic for European touch if we can make that happen. In some divisions the gap is narrowing. Where's the play here?
Yeah, fifth touch there, so Germany they've done well in the last probably 5 or so minutes.
They're forcing errors.
Yeah, that's right. And they got down the other end of the field quite nicely. And the previous set, there was a real emphasis on their rucking. They picked up the ruck speed quite nicely, but there was just an error just prior to the halfway mark where they turned the ball over.
Defence is set now. Wing. There we go.
Bingo. It's been a play that they've used a couple of times there, and they've had success pretty much every time they've gone there. So,
it's like the quickie bad. Germans are conjuring up a plan here.
Yeah, they're all getting together. Just looking a little bit tired. Fatigue, no doubt, setting in. They've had to defend quite a lot.
Good yards there, though. 9 metres off the first roll.
So not putting a cue in the rack at the moment. They will be desperate to try and get a touchdown in this match. It'd be great to see. This is good running here. Oh, they just pop it down the short side.
It's a play you see the French running quite often. The rooster on a link rather than the rooster on a middle.
Oh, it's an interesting play.
Good pressure from Brownie.
Ball to ground, starting to get into the back end of this match now. Scotland, they're still progressing the football around. Nice running, good diving touch made there.
Definite difference in the plays that Scots are running. They're coming down this opposite box side, far box side, on the early in the touch count, which they didn't do in the first half.
That's ball down.
I hope I'm not pointing out stuff to other teams watching them.
Oh no, yeah, might have put the mock on them. The good sides, mate, will pick that sort of stuff up pretty quickly as Germany just turned the ball over. And they're making changes at the same time, but Scotland, I don't think they're in too much of a hurry to get things back underway.
So there's quite a few parents out here for you young bucks. I mean, made their own Instagram page.
The parents have?
Scottish_touch_parents.
Oh.
Give them a little follow. You'll see the adventures they get up to.
What sort of adventures they doing? Is it covering their trip here, or is it an Instagram page that's been going for a while?
No, it's specifically for this trip. I think they had a team meeting the other day in one of the bars. I think each done a little player profile with their favourite players, a little introduction. We've had all sorts going on in there. All sorts.
Oh, that's good. Great to see. Parents, you got to take them into consideration as well. What a miles
especially for
travel.
These young boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bit of financial support there.
Yes, never forget mum and dad,
Yeah.
particularly if they're shelling out cash. Yeah, they parents travel all over the world. You can see them in the stands watching kids. But even as they grow up, I was talking to some parents of some players in the Australian 35s team. Their parents are still here supporting them. They've been to like many World Cups. It's a good holiday away for them as well. They get to see the other side of the world while seeing their kids represent their country.
Oof.
Good ball, just hit the fingertips there.
Yeah, I'm not sure everyone else was on the same page as him there. He didn't quite have a crisp ball hitters that we normally get.
Let's see if Germany can get that direct rucking again.
It's decent yards off too. You're half.
Yeah, you just got a little bit confused there, I think.
But that's what the heat does to you.
Yeah, it does actually. There was an earlier game today where we had a player just roll the ball. There was no one near them, no touch made or anything like that, and just kind of stood there and was a bit lost and wasn't too sure what happened in the L. And that's what we almost put it down to, just the heat.
On camera?
It was on camera, unfortunately.
Oh, God, that's the highlights reel.
Yeah, I won't recall the game, but it was a bit of mass confusion. Even we were sort of scratching our head going, just play the ball without getting touched, but it can happen. Oh, good footwork there. Yeah, Dave Badger, he's happy with that. He's going to blow another touchdown to Scotland.
Certainly an area play Mikey worked very hard on developing his quickie game. Something he holds in the locker, tries to move away from it and not become dependent on it, but he's always got it there in the back pocket. Lisa, Grace, Charlie, Callum, Lewis, Leah. Not one of them over 22, I don't think.
Wow, that's positive. Like we said earlier on, just young kids.
Oh, that's great play. It's a great play.
Oh, having a dive at the line there. The pass, I think, might have been called forward.
It's another one of those roosters on links.
So might be going the little trick play in Germany, just trying to create a little bit of something out of nothing. Kick out here again. Scotland just taking easy meters.
Here comes a crash.
Oh, the crash. This is what I've been looking for. They're back on the field together.
Ooh.
Oh, penalty against.
Yeah, blocking call. We had one of these in a game earlier where you kind of swipe in the throw ball and get in behind the defender, not allowing the defender to get back on side.
It's a good call from the referee.
Yeah.
And back-to-back penalties, offside from Scotland. So they might be getting a little bit fatigued themselves. Germany, can they create something? No. No, I think he's going to let them play it again.
Certainly make it easier for teams when you're given 2 penalties back-to-back like that.
Yeah.
Coach Mackenzie won't be happy.
So Germany again, they just come out to the left-hand side field. Yeah, they look to go right. Just put the brakes on. Oh, they go the big post. Oh, and the bat on as well. Almost came off.
Creative though, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Bold.
Worth a shot. But Scotland again, they transition really nicely coming out of their
That's
end
2.
of the field.
2 to there.
I mean, they're still going at quite a fast pace, but their ball movement as well helps. So this is good. 2 really direct runs here. And, oh, it gets underneath. That's a beautiful ball to manage to get that underneath the German defender.
And did he squat to give that pass?
It looked quite agile and
athletic. Down there? Got to keep working.
So the scoreline will help their for and against as well. They haven't let a touchdown in, but they've got plenty on the scorecard in this match.
Controlling the controllables, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
quickie, here we go.
Inside ball,
Dive.
down. Oh, touch
You know,
made.
she gets one of those low dives that slides along the ground. I think she gets the score there.
Yeah, that's right. Colmheim, she's
touch.
probably been the best player on the field, to be honest.
She's been fantastic.
For the German side, and playing in the middle as well. So it's a pretty tough ask in mixed touch football. Regardless.
But she has been unrelenting, hasn't she?
Absolutely. So great effort. Number 2 there from Germany. It's Colmheim, as mentioned. So they're under the pump here again. Germany, they just kick out and they can't recover. And good speed, just get on the outside as Germany. They were
I'd like
just on
to
the
say
back foot.
I taught Finley that. We play in the same club together back home, but I don't think. I'm not sure I could get away with that.
Oh. What about that moment when you have been coaching kids as they come up and they either play in your side or something like that, or you're doing a training drill, and that first moment when they beat you one-on-one, and you're kind of proud at the same time, but deep down you're like, oh man, I think I'm cooked. My days are done with the kids. It's like when you beat your dad in a race for the first time.
So the Euros final 2016 was my last open grade cap on number 106, and I was in a rotation with James Tweedy, Marshall McLeod. I was their ages combined. They were 16 and 20, and I was like, nah, this is me now.
Yep. So, yeah, glad you brought that up, actually. We do have it on the notes here. 106 caps for Scotland, mate. You must be proud of that.
Very proud, very proud. Been around the traps a wee while and loved every second of it.
So Germany now, can they get one on the board? You're sort of hoping for them, but no options there available to them.
Composure.
Hooter sounds in the background. Well, they look to try to get one more on the board. Big diving effort. Shuts it down, and I think the German side are happy to hear the hooter at the end. Scotland, far too good for Germany in this mixed open match. Eddie, thank you very much for joining me in commentary. It was a pleasure,
Absolute pleasure.
mate.
Thank you.
Great. All the best for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much.
And
to you.
Yes, thank you very much. And that brings us to an end here on day 2 from the 2019 Touch Football World Cup here in Malaysia. We're starting to get into the interesting aspect of the tournament now. A lot of teams are starting to progress and looking forward to those playoff matches at the back end of the tournament. This is Scott McAllister from Malaysia signing off from day 2 of the 2019 World Cup. We'll see you tomorrow for day 3 action.